Hey, how's it going? And what's up, everyone? I'm so glad that you have took your time to spend with me right here today on the MRB Wrestling Review Show. I am your co-host, Mike McRock Wilson, and we just saw WWE Friday Night SmackDown from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And the main subject, the main segment of the show would be Edge. The Cutting Edge, the Rated R Superstar, and I'll get to that later on. The show kicked off when the Big Show came out, and he had to read a scripted apology that Triple H probably gave him. And what was interesting was that I felt like I was going back to when the NWO had to go into the ring and speak a written apology to the fans. And with this one, it's different because Triple H had to make Big Show go out there and apologize for letting the fans down, letting the corporation down, and letting the superstars down. And with that being said, when Triple H came out, he kind of, didn't notice that that Big Show was there in the ring when he said, "Welcome to Friday Night SmackDown." And then when he did talk to Big Show, he told him that he is suspended without pay, which goes into that Iron Clan contract story. It kind of contradicts into that. And shortly after that, you see the Shield come out and attack the Big Show. And what was interesting is that when in the beginning of that exchange, when the Shield was ganging up on Big Show 3-on-1, it almost looked like, the Big Show was letting the Shield beat on him because he felt very bad from that written apology Triple H had to make him go out and do. And every single thing that Big Show has done week after week in the storyline. So I thought that was a little bit off for his... but it almost made sense in a way that he kind of let the Shield pummel him only for a second, and only to have him just go colossal on the Shield and just destroy them. And what happened at the end of that exchange was, of course, the Shield gaining the upper hand. And what was cool was that this was like going back and forth. At first it was the Shield, then it was Big Show, then it was the Shield again, gaining the upper hand. And all in all, that first segment was actually a good way to kick off a SmackDown before the pay-per-view event, because I think that Big Show might be involved in the main event match between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. I will get to my prediction video later on to let you know what I think will happen with the WWE Championship between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. And speaking of Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, which I will get to later on, were the guests on Edge's show, The Cutting Edge, in the main event. Also last night, we see Brie Bella, Naomi, and Natalya taking on Layla, Alicia Fox, and Oksana, and I know that Brie Bella, Naomi, and Natalya won again via disqualification because AJ Lee was at the commentary booth and came out and attacked the Total Divas because, let's face it, AJ Lee rather has see divas competing in the ring than being on a reality TV show. That's the reason why she came in there. And what happened was that they only, when they think they were getting up on AJ again, you see Layla coming in and pulling AJ out. So it was kind of like I was watching Raw's match. It was the same match but with a different outcome, and that's kind of weird because I feel less and less excited about the Divas match going into Night of Champs for that reason. One, Layla, Alicia Fox, and Oksana are not a part of this match, but I think they'll probably, be the deciding factor in this fatal four-way match. I think that those three cost the other three divas, and AJ Lee retains. That may be the case, but from what I understand is that the WWE wants a diva from the Total Divas show to be the Divas champion. So I will, like I said, get to my prediction video later on to give you my prediction of the Divas Championship match this Sunday. Also, we see Vicky Guerrero announcing a Dancing with the WWE Superstars. And soon as she announced it, the second Vicky Guerrero announced that, I was thinking, oh no, this is going to look horrible. It turns out it was. What happened was, R-Truth came out, Fandango came out, Miz came out with this ridiculous fro and this, what in the world what he was wearing, and calls himself Mizco Inferno. Don't quit your day job. As soon as I thought this segment couldn't get any more bizarre, out comes the Great Khali, and I was like, oh no. I will not go any further. Basically what it was just for the Miz to go over these other guys in this dance contest. I don't know. This kind of thing really it just didn't need to happen because it didn't need to happen. I thought this segment was very miserable. See what I did there? I don't think I'll go any further than that. And we also see Ryback, or should I say Cryback, as a interviewer. I mean, coming up from that dance segment to Ryback being an interviewer just added more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It just added more ridiculousness to the show as it was already with that dance segment. And he interviewed this guy, Robert Evans, who is playing this hometown hero from Ottawa. And I've done my research. This guy is actually R.D. Evans from Ring of Honor. He plays a really obnoxious, really annoying heel. And to have him come in just to play a little role as a hometown hero was really, really weird to watch because I'm so used to seeing this guy as that obnoxious heel in Ring of Honor. That's the only reason. And for Ryback to be interviewing people, I seen the outcome from a mile away. All it was just Ryback being a bully. And it doesn't help him at all. It doesn't help him with his character. It doesn't help him with his talking. And I think he needs something to save him immediately. Also on SmackDown, we see Damien Sandow take on Santino Marella. Now, here's the interesting thing. Now, we see Santino Marella come back on Monday Night Raw, defeating Antonio Cesaro, and this week he defeated Damien Sandow. And normally, with Damien Sandow as the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, losing match after match after match really doesn't really help him in the momentum aspect of things because he has a briefcase. He is an uncrowned world heavyweight champion. So I see a big problem of him losing matches. But I can take an exception to this because Santino Marella has came back and I guess win over Damien Sandow, is probably just one of those fixed matches in the WWE. It's just one of those situations where it gets a little fuzzy and a little weird. It was just really unusual to actually see how that play out. Also, we see an interview, Michael Cole interviewing Curtis Axel and Paul Heyman. And what I like about this segment was that we see a better Curtis Axel. He doesn't pronounce his words really harsh as he used to on Raw and previous weeks on SmackDown. So with that being said, Curtis Axel actually a little bit better on the microphone. And with Paul Heyman, when Paul Heyman spoke, of course, he wants to weasel his way out of situations. And he wanted to boycott Night of Champions. He wanted people to not buy the Night of Champions pay-per-view. And he undercuts that with buying buy your wife a pair of shoes because women in their shoes. You know how it's just one of those things where you see, women with a bunch of shoes and they're addicted to them. It's just one of those things. Paul Heyman, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about, and just to have him say something like that, really playing on things that women keep, like shoes. Oh, incredible. And with that being said, I like how, Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel planted the idea that Punk is going to get his hands on Paul Heyman, when in fact something else will probably take place. I'm not going to spoil what I'm about to say now because I will say that in my prediction video, so wait for it. Also, we see Alberto Del Rio going one-on-one with Ricardo Rodriguez with RVD in his corner. Now, the interesting thing here was that, Vicky Guerrero backstage with Ricardo was about to, ban Ricardo from ringside in the World Championship match with RVD and Alberto. But the only problem with that is that, Ricardo needs to be involved in the outcome of that World Heavyweight Championship match. And I will give you that reason in my prediction video. And with that being said, I like how, Ricardo, he has some fight in him. You could tell he is a wrestler, pulling off that tornado DDT and other moves and the like, like that drop kick, etc., etc. He's just one of those guys where, you can only make a few big moves where you get some pops, and to have, that heel guy, beat you in the middle of the ring. It's just one of those things where you see the underdog losing to the top heel. And it's pretty interesting, and it works in this situation because going into this World Heavyweight Championship match, RVD really doesn't need the World Heavyweight Championship. And with Ricardo Rodriguez in his corner, this is going to be interesting how this is going to play out. Also, last night we see Dolph Ziggler go one-on-one with Dean Ambrose, and finally they're going to play on the U.S. Championship at Night of Champs because he needs to face someone. Dean Ambrose needs to defend his title at Night of Champs because that is a pay-per-view where every single title is on the line. Well, in this case, except for the Intercontinental Championship, but you get my point. So with that being said, what happened was the Shield interfered because Dolph Ziggler was about to win the match. So with that being said, he wins by disqualification and somehow manages to get his U.S. Championship that way. And what I'm surprised is that the outcome later on really didn't make up for it, because what happened was after the Shield attacked Dolph Ziggler, the Usos came out and evened the odds. Vicky Guerrero made it a 6-man tag team match and then restarted the match. And what happened was the Shield, Seth Rollins pinned the Uso to get the victory. And I'm surprised that, Dolph Ziggler didn't pin Dean Ambrose, just to see, the number one contender pinning the champ, Angle, to go into Night of Champs. I'm surprised they didn't do that because I think, with the issues with Dolph Ziggler behind the scenes, I don't think they would have probably allowed that to happen in that situation of things. So that was probably the right way to go because the Shield needed to win. They are the hunters, and they have to make the Shield look good, so they have to win that match. And also as well, the Shield, I think, will probably get involved in the main event at Night of Champs, but I don't want to give that away just yet. I will wait for my prediction video as well. And the main event was the Cutting Edge with your host, the Rated R Superstar Edge. Here's my Tony Chimmel moment for you. And what I really like is that Edge came in the right time, because Edge technically is not employed with the WWE right now, and he can say whatever he wants to Triple H, because Triple H, made it hard for the WWE superstars to not speak up, to not say a word about, Triple H being the boss of the WWE and being that top heel authority figure like Vince McMahon in the Attitude Era. So, that interesting aspect of things really plays out really well. And Edge being a supporting role for the WWE Championship match also plays out well too, because we see that history in that main event on the cutting edge with Randy Orton and Edge. Team Rated RKO. Mentioning, 10-time champ, 11-time champ, etc., stuff like that. Edge can always bounce back to whatever the other guy says, to what the heel says, because he's that quick, he's that good on the microphone. He doesn't miss a beat, right? And what happened was Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan had their exchange of words. Randy Orton talking about being the face of the WWE, being that corporate guy, being the guy that sells the merchandise, signs the autographs, like being the John Cena, so to speak. And with Daniel Bryan, he came back with whatever happened to desire, passion, dreams. He talked about dreams, dreaming to be the WWE champ. That's all he wants. He doesn't want to be the face of the WWE. He wants to be the champ. But see, here's the interesting thing about that. If Daniel Bryan does win the WWE champ, he's pretty much also the face of the WWE by accident. So to an extent, he is a little wrong in that area. But I like how he, makes importance of making dreams come true, putting passion into his matches and desire as well, and being that ultimate underdog going into this WWE Championship match is absolutely incredible. And it's like a Rey Mysterio kind of vibe as well, because Rey Mysterio is also an underdog. And I think, maybe if Rey Mysterio comes back, he'll probably get the rub off of Rey Mysterio in that underdog aspect of things, if indeed this rivalry does continue with Randy Orton. So with that being said, what will happen at Night of Champions? I will get to that in my prediction video later on. And then that was my review of Friday Night SmackDown for the MRB Wrestling Review Show. I am Mike McRock Wilson. Get plenty of rest and always do your best.